Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back, and I'm going to do another case in Elite Mode. I did case number 1 in this district in Ocean Shore in Pacific Bay. So I'm going to do case 5 in Elite Mode, the Ice Queen. I mean, hey, I got the energy, I might as well. Ah, Ranger Matthew, I'm really glad to see you settling into Pacific Bay so well, and doing such a great job. You'll be on night duty with Frank. Try not to see it as punishment. Alright, Matthew, I'm kind of relieved to be partnering up with you. I was scared I'd get stuck with Amy. It's Amy who should be relieved. Hopefully not much will happen tonight. Just watch out Frank doesn't fall asleep. He's a loud snorer. Anyway, I'll leave you both to it. Have a good night. Well, Matthew, what do you say we go for a walk? At this hour, the beach is deserted, just the way I like it. On quiet nights like these, it gets me thinking, maybe there's some good luck in Pacific Bay after all. And look over there, there's a bonfire raging. I guess there must be an end of summer party going on. What's that, Matthew? You think something's not right with that kid by the bonfire? Hey you, by the bonfire! They ain't answering. But they're probably just stoned. Anyway, let's leave them to it, Matthew. We ain't babysitters. Wait, Matthew, where are you going? Excuse me. Still gonna go with the Dalmatian, at least for half of the stars. But we'll see what happens. Aha! Victim's phone. That's Becky Walden. What the? We're in the middle of summer in freaking Pacific Bay, so how on earth did this girl end up as a human popsicle? And you're right, Matthew, that icy stare belongs to Becky Walden. We warned that nosy kid to stay out of trouble. Obviously, she didn't listen. You're right, Matthew, we should start by sending Becky's body over to autopsy. I'm guessing Roxy is out partying by now, but she's gonna have to come back in. And you found Becky's phone? You got a point. It might help shed some light on all this madness, but only you have the skills to unlock it. And what about this spear gun? If you think it ties in with our investigation, we should dust this sucker for prints, see who it belongs to. $36 hours. I gotta get some stars, so sit tight. Alright folks, I got 6 stars. And let's examine the victim's phone.
Retraining.
17 energy. You really are a phone whisperer, Matthew. Now that you've unlocked the victim's phone, how about we send it to the lab?
What are you talking about?
Alright, everybody, listen up, please.
6 hours.
Until the next situation gets resolved. It's fun, and so am I. I'm leaving.
What? Now?
Hey, is this part of the deal? Was this their pound of flesh because
This is my call.
where you gonna go, Captain?
On the way.
Nicely done, Matthew. Now that you've dusted the spear gun, you want to run these prints through the database? That's fine by me.
My mandatory retirement date. If I stay, I make less than if I leave.
Get a cruise, okay? And you're done.
I'm proud of my time. But I'm honored and grateful to work with the most brilliant of detectives I've ever known. Nick.
Ah,
You're too good.
17 energy.
Amanda. I was never.
Smooth going, Matthew. So you found the spear gun next to the victim's body, and now we know it belongs to Roger Stroud. Ah, that's right. Roger was one of your suspects during that deep-sea diving case. Well, it looks like he's back for a second round. You ever hear the bedtime story of the spear gun and the frozen girl, Matthew? Me neither. So let's go pull Roger out of bed and have him tell it to us.
Now, it's not easy going from player to coach. Some chops. But if they do, you bust them right back.
Talk to Roger about a spear gun? Roger Stroud, here's a fun fact. Ranger Matthew found your spear gun on the scene of Becky Walden's murder. How do you explain that one? Becky's dead? Look, I was out on the boardwalk with my pet octopus. Your pet octopus? Why the look? It was in a special container to show to tourists. It's good for business. Anyway, that girl decided to steal my octopus in its container and she ran away. I tried chasing her but couldn't keep up. Oh yeah, so how come we found your spear gun next to her dead body? When I got to the beach, she was nowhere to be found. That's when I forgot my spear gun. This ain't over, Roger, and next time you lie, try and come up with a better story. It's embarrassing. I agree, Matthew. Roger's a terrible liar. But one thing we did learn was that Becky went to the boardwalk tonight. Good idea, Matthew. We should check it out. And we could even stop for some food on the way, or even just a drink.
You deserve it. Oh, and
So anyway,
do something with the place, will you?
had a pretty good week so far. Both the ladies and the fellas college basketball team in my state of Hawaii ended up winning the Big West season and the tournaments. Hawaii is now the men's at the 13th seed. Will face the 4th seed California in Spokane, Washington.
Justice system. Sexual
So?
offenses are considered especially heinous.
All I can say is, let's do this.
Investigate these vicious felonies are members of an elite squad known as the Special Victims Unit. These are their stories.
100%. Dude, Brian should have pulled you right away. That's why you always gotta check your network. It's the first thing you do, okay?
Bargain bin, Zeppelin, torn fabric.
She's really out of it.
There we are.
You like that, right? Yeah, I know you do. Yeah. You're a pretty girl. Show me how you're Hey, what's going on? Yo, get away from me.
Ugh, all these neon lights aren't helping my headache. Did you find anything, Matthew? A torn t-shirt and the bargain bin from the souvenir shop? I don't want to be seen searching through bargain bins with my Hawaiian shirt and all. It'd make me look like a cheap tourist. And I guess we're gonna have to stitch this t-shirt back together By we, I mean you, Matthew. I'm hopeless at this kind of thing. I'm gonna get a few more stars, so sit tight. Okay, I got myself 7 stars. Let's examine the bargain bin right now. I see a sword in there. A bloody sword. What's this bloody sword doing among all these buckets and spades? You're right, Matthew. We better collect some of that blood. There we go, 14. Okay, let's send this blood sample you got off that sword over to the lab. I'm curious to see how it fits in with our investigation. Zach Walden and Becky Walden and Zach, the lifeguard. You're pretty good at fixing torn clothes, Matthew. Maybe I could give you my socks to fix one of these days. You're right, Matthew. It was a bad joke. That can be a real goof sometimes. This t-shirt you pieced back together is a photo of Becky, but who's the grinning idiot next to her, Matthew? You're saying this is Zach Taylor, a lifeguard you met during the shark attack case? I agree, we should pay him a visit and wipe that smile off his face. About his friendship with Becky? Woohoo! Ranger Matthew, come party with us. It's been a crazy night so far. Go easy on the enthusiasm, kid. It's irritating. Ranger Matthew found a cheesy t-shirt of you and Becky Walden, and since she's been murdered, we want to ask you some questions. Oh my gosh, Becky's been killed? But that's impossible. We were just hanging out on the boardwalk earlier tonight. We have trouble believing a popular guy like you would be friends with a geeky girl like her. She was always alone, and I felt sorry for her, because everyone hated her, so I try to cheer her up a bit. It's what I'm good at. Sally, I don't think anybody will miss her. I don't want to die like that, alone and unloved. Here's a tip, kid. If you don't want to die alone and unloved, put a damn t-shirt back on. That'd be a good idea. Can't be a lifeguard 24/7. Okay, I'm gonna let these 3 run their courses. And for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back. Let's get the results of the victim's phone. How's it hanging, Matthew? I checked out the victim's phone and noticed it was overheating for no apparent reason. So I dug deeper and discovered it was overheating because there was a program secretly running on it. A spy software to be exact. And what does this spy software do? Take a wild guess, Frank. This spy software allowed a GPS device to track Becky's every move. I tried to pinpoint the location of the GPS device that was tracking your victim's phone, but it's been switched off, as if it wasn't of use anymore. But this proves that the GPS device was owned by your killer. With this information, you should be one step closer to catching them, Matthew. So our killer uses a GPS device? You see, Matthew, this is why I don't trust technology. And the blood. Hey, Matthew, don't you just love working night shifts? Everything is so calm. It's like working in a sacred temple. Jan, before you turn into the next Dalai Lama, can you tell us about that blood Matthew collected from that sword? That blood was mixed with stomach juices. This can only mean that the sword was swallowed and the person cut their stomach from the inside. Who would be stupid enough to swallow a freaking sword? Well, this blood belongs to Lenny Spitfire. He's that street performer that Matthew dealt with just recently. Sword swallowing is a part of his act, but this time something went wrong. You're right, Matthew. Since Lenny was on the boardwalk along with the victim, he may have seen something. So what do you say we go question this clown? Ooh. Just the thought of swallowing a sword is enough to give me shivers. Let's talk to Lenny now. You think dragons are extinct? Well, think again as you watch me breathe fire. Keep that fire away from my face. Ranger Matthew wants to ask you a few questions about Becky Walden. I hate her so much. Earlier tonight she distracted me when I was swallowing my sword. She made me cut myself. Well, that's kind of your fault for swallowing swords in the first place. You don't get it. She was here all the time, trying to embarrass me. That girl was made of ice, and I'm made of fire. Maybe that's why she disliked me, but she should have known that fire always wins. The tiki shack was rocking, but this is way cooler. Your victim was frozen solid thanks to a little something called liquid nitrogen. Liquid nitrogen is the bomb. It causes rapid freezing as soon as it touches something. I analyzed the victim's blood, and I found an insane amount of alcohol in her system. This means she had a great time. Until she ended up dead, of course. About the body, pieces were broken off, and you won't believe by what. It turns out your killer was listening to loud music which formed sound waves. The sound waves travel through the body, delivering thousands of shocks. It's as if 1,000 hammers were all hitting at once from the inside out. These cracks on the body acted like a music sheet and preserved the sound waves beat. Dum dum dum. Turns out your killer was listening to electronic music. Huh? Everything you just said sounds like science fiction, but if it helps catch our killer, we'll take it. So much for a calm night, eh, Matthew? A girl who everybody seemed to hate ends up frozen on a beach in summer. Let's see, Matthew. We know that before getting killed, Becky went on a wild, drunken night. Maybe her drunkenness explains why she decided to steal that octopus from Roger. We also know Lenny hated her guts as she was always trying to make him mess up his performances just for fun. And there's Zach, who became friends with her, but that kind of guy never does anything just to be nice, so I wonder what he was really after. Huh? Don't you find it strange that our 3 suspects so far have all been involved in previous murder investigations, Matthew? I don't like those odds. But you're right, Matthew. If we're to understand any of this, we need to retrace Becky's steps and find out where she started her wild night. And I think I just may know where Becky went on her fatal night. The Little Mermaid Club just filed a complaint. They say a customer who fits Becky's profile tallied up a bill of $1,005 and ran away without paying. Sheesh! $1,005 bill? What the hell did Becky do at that club?
We have to show up and play, but a little name or a big name can get you if you're not ready.
Alright, we'll get to chapter 2 after this. Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back. Let's start chapter 2 of the Ice Queen, Case 5 in Pacific Bay in Elite Mode. Frank, before you try and go to every bar and club under the pretext of finding out where Becky went on a wild night, just let me tell Matthew that Becky was at the Little Mermaid Club. They said a customer who fits Becky's profile tallied up a bill of $1,005 and ran away without paying. You're right, Matthew. We know Becky ended the night frozen on a beach. Now it's time to go see how it all started.
8 in the morning. Away to 13 Rainbow Warriors, Midwest regular season and conference tournament champions, 27-5. California, the 4 seed, is 23-10. And us, down under, just another John Flores. It's a 9-2-3 ride. He's into the quarterfinals of the WSL season opener as the Quicksilver Gold Coast. Fellow local boy, Sebastian Zeeks, still waiting. Here's round 5.
Okay.
There it is. 11 in the 4th by Felipe Toledo. Dude getting all tricky. Getting a perfect 10 from the judges. He's in the quarters as well. Women led by 3-time and defending world champion Carissa Moore. She's into the semifinals. Edging fellow local Malia Manuel in the quarters. Boys Tatiana Weston Webb waiting her quarterfinal run. Good looking stuff.
Aha.
So fun. And speaking of fun ahead, we're talking a lot.
But instantly, the girls and Coach Beeman, a winnable game. You saw a great goal and then being up front, rebound. Boys got a rebound. What's going to be a tough afternoon.
We are looking forward to that big game. Thanks so much, Robert.
Hey, do you know what day it is?
March 14th, recognized as Pi Day because the date resembles the ratio of a circle.
Good thinking in picking up that ice bucket, Matthew. I'll take 2 with a drop of whiskey, please. Oh, you want to search through it? And let me guess, you want to restore that torn flyer as well. Did you ever think about anything other than work, Matthew? You're right. We know the killer was using a GPS navigation device to track our victim's movements. So it makes sense to check this one out. But of course it's locked. You better handle it, Matthew. Electronic devices ain't good for my anger management. I just end up breaking them out of frustration.
Celebrated. That looks delicious. Wow. All right, KITV has another half hour of Island News ahead.
Sit tight, folks. I'm going to grab some stars. All right, folks. I got all the stars. Let's examine the torn flyer.
That money will be donated to charity. I was pretty down about this, actually, thinking that the machines were taking over, but this is great for us. Good. We're still a tiny bit ahead, right?
Have you ever heard of that game?
I have. It's a pretty famous game. One of the oldest games.
Derek Stone.
What?
I never had any patience for puzzles, but I'm glad you seem to enjoy them, Matthew, so you pieced back a flyer. It's for the club event Fire and Ice, and it was hosted by Derek Stone. Huh. This guy acts like he's the Scarface of Ocean Shore, and this is the second time he's a suspect in one of your murder investigations, Matthew. And you're right, Matthew, the flyer says it was an electronic night. Since Derek was hosting, it's safe to say he likes the music. I'm right behind you, Matthew. Since our victim went to Derek's club event, we've got to question the little creep. About his club event? Yo, you want to hit on my bong, homie? This weed is so good it should be illegal. Very funny, Derek. Ranger Matthews investigating the murder of a girl who went to your club night at the Little Mermaid. Yeah, didn't you know? My parties are killer. I'll give you VIP tickets to my next one. It's a GPS party where you can track the girls you like. We don't want anything to do with your sleaze nights. Now, a girl got killed tonight, and you better give Ranger Matthew answers before I give you a black eye. Get real, man. This is Ocean Shore. Here we live fast and party hard. It's an art, and I guess some people just can't handle it. But it ain't no fault of mine. Block GPS device. GSX, NAB, S70. See, that's why I don't trust electronics. You can hack them. You can hack into them too easily. Or is that just you, Matthew? You're right. We should send this GPS device to the lab.
It all starts with the season finale. Bailey sees The Bachelor right now.
Can't get any more than this.
Tonight.
The atmosphere he's in because he just plays so free.
Ice bucket now?
And that's what you want.
Why not an ice bucket challenge? You can see my ice bucket challenge that I did back in 2014. A faded receipt. You found a receipt for $1,005 in that ice bucket, Matthew. The chief said Becky spent this exact amount in the club, so it must be hers. There seems to be a drawing on it, but it got faded with all the water. I guess it's a dead end, unless you can be bothered fixing it, Matthew.
In all the games, he's had a kind of 15 to 20 minute spots in each of the games. This game, we asked more of him. He produced. He was waiting and sitting there saying, "I know I can, I know I can," and he did, and we won.
You're dead. Wow. I like your style, Matthew. So that drawing you recovered from the victim's receipt is of a mermaid who seems pissed with our victim. Good point, Matthew. We should send the receipt to Russell. For sure he'll have a wisecracking answer as to who this angry mermaid is. 30 hours. Alright. I'll let these two run their courses and I'll see you for them. Alright folks, we're back. Let's get the results of the GPS device. I meant to do this when it just finished, but I fell asleep last night. So there's a chance I could speed something up, but we'll see. I analyzed that GPS device you found in the Little Mermaid Club, Matthew. Turns out your victim's phone location was programmed into it. As you already know, the killer uses a GPS device. This one can only belong to them. Sadly, I can't tell you much else because your killer is a slob. Some substance fell on the GPS and has messed it up. But what about the substance in question? What can you tell us about it? I flunked biology, Frank. I couldn't even explain why the sky is blue or why you're still standing after having drank so much or... Okay, just give us a sample of the substance. Matthew, can you run it through the database before Hannah talks my ear off? That was easy. It's cocktail. Smooth going, Matthew. So you managed to identify the substance that was on the killer's GPS device. And it's a cocktail. Oh my gosh, that's my second most favorite cocktail. It's called a freeze zone. Honestly, it's the bomb. It's made with liquid nitrogen. The same stuff that killed our victim? Huh. I think I'll just stick to good old whiskey. A killer with a wild imagination who drinks freeze zone cocktails and likes electronic music. They sound like my dream date. I mean, apart from the whole killing thing, of course. Receipt? Ah, Matthew, I see your victim spent $1,005 in that club. It seems like she was desperate to impress people with her careless spending. But back to the Angry Mermaid. I had to look through the records of all the Little Mermaid's employees until I found a psychological profile that could match the receipt. Wait a second, you identified the Angry Mermaid by matching her drawing to a psychological profile? Everything you do is a reflection of your inner self. In the drawing, the mermaid is threatening your victim. This proves that she has a short temper. So in looking through the employee records, I found one waitress who kept getting into fights, a certain Eva Sanchez. She's her angry mermaid, Matthew. I agree, Matthew. I think we should go make this mermaid sing. About threatening the victim? Eva, Ranger Matthew needs to ask you some questions concerning a certain Becky Walden and why you threatened her. That little trout kept mocking me. Every time I served her drinks, she'd joke about how I'm not a real mermaid. Can you believe that? But you're not a real mermaid, so... How dare you? I researched my role for months. Watched that Little Mermaid documentary a gazillion times. I have become the mermaid. I even set my GPS device to Ivywood. All I need to do now is follow my dreams and become the most famous actress ever. Ooh, and maybe Ivywood will make a movie about Becky's murder. Eek, I'd be perfect for the mermaid role. Wow, Eva sure has a short temper and seems overly protective of her mermaid role. Ugh, this club stinks of sweat and regrets. Good idea, Matthew. We should go back to the boardwalk, get some fresh air, and retrace our victim's footsteps. Just gonna get my messages. Still have 4 burgers because I bought some of the daily rewards. So thanks for your patience, guys, and I'll get to this right now. Octopus, I see. There we are. Nice. No J. What the? Did you just pick up that live octopus from the gift shop shelves, Matthew? They really sell everything and anything these days. Alright, this is probably the octopus that Becky stole off Roger. If you ask me, we should just drop it off at the nearest sushi restaurant. I'm joking, of course. It's still alive, so you did the right thing putting it back in a fishbowl until we sort all this out, Matthew. I still don't get what Roger was doing with this octopus on the boardwalk. Good idea, Matthew. We should start by identifying the species to get a better idea of what's going on here. And of course, you can't search a crime scene without finding a torn item, can you? I'll let you piece it back together, Matthew, while I keep an eye on this octopus. I don't trust it. Sit tight, folks, while I sort all this out. Okay, I got it figured out. Flyer. Well, what did you piece back together this time, Matthew? Huh, it's some kind of infographic about how street performers make more money than your average citizen. That's true, Matthew. That street performer looks an awful lot like Lenny. Huh, and of course it was created by Becky. Why does she have to anger everybody in Ocean Shore? And you're right, Matthew. If Lenny saw this infographic, he must have been breathing fire. Let's go talk to him. Let's interrogate, see what Lenny has to say. Woohoo! All this electronic music is getting to my brain. I feel like a robot, a fire-breathing robot. Dial back on the crazy, Lenny. Ranger Matthews here to ask you a few questions concerning that infographic Becky made. Becky's ruined my life. Just because she wanted to see me sad and lonely like her, she told everybody to stop giving me money. When someone likes me and my performance, they give me money. Now that nobody's giving me money, how am I supposed to tell if they like me? Wait a second. You're a street performer because it's your only way to tell if people like you? Of course. But now I feel alone. I'm finished. I should just ask my GPS device to take me to Lonely Town, population Lenny. Lenny should program his GPS to the nearest mental institute. That guy's crazy. But Becky destroyed his reputation with that infographic, so I wouldn't be surprised if he destroyed her. Got it. Octopus Carouse. Nice going, Matthew. You managed to identify what species Roger's octopus belongs to. Octopus Carouse. You're right. We should phone the shrimp expert Jan for more info. Hello? Yeah, Matthew found an Octopus Carouse on the boardwalk. What can you tell us about this species? Ooh, the great Octopus Carouse. It's a very rare and protected species, and it is sold for a lot of money on the black market. Wait a second, what's it doing on the boardwalk? It's a long story, Jan, but thanks for your help. So Roger was trying to sell this octopus illegally. No wonder he chased Becky after he stole it. He better tell us everything this time or I'll shoot a spear gun through his foot. I'm gonna get the rest of the stars first, so sit tight. Okay, I got a few more stars. 2.5 left to go, but let's interrogate Roger now. Hey Roger, did you miss us? Ranger Matthew found your pet octopus. Turns out it's worth a lot of money on the black market. You were planning on selling it, weren't you? I was strapped for cash, and this octopus was worth a fortune. It all started when someone gave me an address. I typed it into my GPS, and suddenly I had a new job. But the black market is a dangerous place, isn't it? You promise your buyer something, say an exotic, very valuable octopus, and if you don't deliver it... Exactly. When Becky stole the octopus, I had to get it back at any cost. Otherwise, I would have been in deep trouble. So it was kill or be killed? No, I never managed to catch up with her. And now bad people are after me. What do you think of Ocean Shore now that you've been here for some time, Matthew? All these murders go unnoticed because everybody's too busy partying, but people need to see Ocean Shore for what it really is, a seedy place of excess. You're right, we should try and recap this headache of a case, Matthew. We've got one Ice Queen and 5 suspects who hated her guts. We know Becky got drunk at the Little Mermaid Club event, which Derek was hosting, and whilst there, she managed to anger the waitress Eva. And at some point on her drunken night, Becky stole the octopus Roger wanted to sell on the black market. And let's not forget that she also tried to make people stop giving any money to Lenny. Seriously, why was Becky so mean to everybody? I've got a present for you, Frank, but I'm not sure you deserve it. Come on, kid, stop acting smug and spit it out. You know how you've been trying to arrest Derek for years but have never managed to? Well, look, here's a picture of Derek selling drugs. Ooh. We'll get to chapter 3 after this. Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back. I still got one more star to go, but I'm just going to go on anyway. Chapter 3 now. Hey Frank, you know how you've been trying to arrest Derek for years but have never managed to? Well, I've got a surprise for you. Look, here's a picture of Derek selling drugs. What the? This is amazing. Where did you even get this picture, Hannah? I found it while browsing through Becky's FriendNet account, and she uploaded it shortly before being killed. Our victim took photos of Derek selling drugs? It looks like we just found his murder motive, Matthew. I agree, we should go talk to the scum. And you're right, we should also go check out the Little Mermaid Club since Derek was selling his drugs there. Besides, I could do with the drink. Frank! I was joking, Chief. Come on, Matthew, can we please go before I get a talking to? Smooth, Frank. Let's quiz Derek first. Derek, we've seen pictures of you selling drugs in the Little Mermaid Club, and the photos were taken by Becky. Drugs? What drugs? I was selling baking soda. In little baggies? Yeah, the guy wanted to bake mini cupcakes. Who was I to refuse? You better stop with the jokes, Derek. Or what? I ain't stupid. This pick ain't enough to arrest me, not without an eyewitness. The eyewitness is dead, and you very well know that. You better tell Ranger Matthew everything you did that night, starting now. Oh jeez, I'm sorry, officer, but I drank way too many free zones that night and I can't remember a single darn thing. Keep playing dumb, Derek, but one of these days Ranger Matthew will get you and you won't look so smart when we put you behind bars. That's not a clue, shucks. Oh man, oh there it was. Portable printer. Wait, is that a mini printer? What is it doing in a club? And you're right, Matthew, given the stickers, it clearly belonged to Becky. Huh, it's locked, but I'm sure you can fix that, Matthew. And look at this lifeguard t-shirt you found. It makes sense that it belonged to Zach, not that we've ever seen him wearing it. Funny, he shares the same name as the Black Ranger from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the first one. And if you want to collect a sample of that stain, I ain't gonna encourage you, but I ain't gonna stop you either. And you're right, since Zach's t-shirt was in this club, it means he came by to enjoy a night of electronic music. We better write that down. Oh, let's examine. Oh, let's get it right now. Let's do it right now. Ah. There we are. Boy, in Elite Mode, those things go by so fast for energy. That's kind of the only pain about Elite Mode. I'm impressed with your hacking skills, Matthew. And look, now that you've unlocked Becky's printer, it seems to be printing something out. It's a picture, but of course the printer had to be running low on ink. Matthew, you think you can fix this? Now go back on what I said. This is actually what I meant. Let's examine the faded picture right now. Did you see how the thing moves fast? It is for a good challenge, I'll give him that. So you recovered the ink on that faded picture from the victim's printer. What's it all about, Matthew? Huh, look at this picture. It's Eva with a silly face. Becky was funny after all. Ooh, I love that meme. I've even ordered a t-shirt of it. What the heck is a meme, Hannah? Funny, I thought all the dinosaurs went extinct centuries ago. Seriously, you belong in a museum, Frank. A meme is a picture with silly captions that people on the internet go crazy about. I didn't know Becky started this one. It's so popular at the moment, everyone keeps posting it online. Eva must be super mad right now. You're right, Matthew. It looks like we should go pay a visit to our angry mermaid and see for ourselves. Let's talk to Eva now. Eva, we just seen those pictures Becky made of you and what? You've come to mock me too? That tramp posted those pictures on the internet and suddenly everybody is laughing at me. All I ever wanted was to be an actress. I'm a good mermaid, and even if I love electronic music, I asked the club to only play ocean sounds. That's how dedicated I am. But now my acting career is ruined. I bet everyone in Ivywood is laughing at me. I mean, I've always wanted to be famous, but not like this. So you know what? I'm glad she's dead. She ruined my life. Boo-hoo. I'll never be an actress anymore. Now leave me alone. I need to go drown in an ocean of free zone cocktails. She's looking good now. But so is Derek Stone, too. There we are. I still don't know what you're hoping to find with this sample from Zach's t-shirt, Matthew, but if you think it's worth sending off to the lab, I trust you. 12 hours only. Okay. I'm gonna get the remaining stars, so for now, this is Matthew. See you then.
What choice would I have?
Alright folks, we're back. I'm gonna speed this up. Unknown substance. For 12. Hey Matthew, I analyzed that substance you collected from Zach's t-shirt, and I can tell you they are tears of sadness. And those tears contain your victim's DNA. This means she was the one crying. Tears of sadness as opposed to tears of joy? Come on, Jan, there's no way to tell such things. You found a girl's tears on a boy's t-shirt. Your victim was obviously crying over a broken heart. Oh, right. So Becky was in love with Zach? I guess she had a heart after all, despite what everyone keeps saying about her. And you're right, Matthew. Zach didn't mention any of this. Let's go see this heartbreaker.
necessarily.
But mostly, Randy Chase used Jerome Warren as a fundraising tool, didn't he?
That's not all they got.
These fundraising
About breaking the victim's heart.
Yes.
should have been studying.
Hey Ranger Matthew, I heard you're a wizard with electronics. Could you please get my GPS device working again?
Couple of times.
Not a chance, but we can wire you up to a lie detector if you don't start telling the truth about how you broke Becky's heart. Come on, Ranger Matthew, ever since Ice P, you know about my preference. I never led Becky on. I took her clubbing just to be nice. And okay, I had a few too many free zones, and I kissed a guy in front of Becky. That's when she went crazy. She was furious that I hadn't told her I was gay. She said she was going to blog all about how I was deceiving girls. She would have ruined my life. So you had to stop her at any cost?
Jerome used to run home to show me his report cards. Excellent. He just loved to learn.
Look, even if she did want to destroy my life, I'd never destroy hers. I'm not like that.
Jerome's father died 5 years ago. He helped Jerome see the possibilities in his life. He told me he could get him into an Ivy League school.
You know what, Matthew? Shall we just call it a night and pick it up in the morning? I need my beauty sleep.
Jerome had a good chance of being
Frank, you should take example on Matthew. They're not complaining or falling asleep. Besides, I've been keeping up to date on your case.
excited about.
And it's clear you're making progress, Matthew. You can't give up now. Now you should go back to the crime scene. It's almost dawn, and people will soon be going to the beach, Matthew. I trust you'll find the final pieces of evidence you need.
I know he failed some charges. He had never had trouble before.
Minute, folks.
Never actually met him.
So, apart from statistical generalities about affirmative action, you don't really have anything specific to tell us
Investigate the
about
campfire.
Your Honor, I move to strike this witness's entire testimony as irrelevant. Affirmative action is what put my client in harm's way. Counsel is trying to exploit what he perceives as a bias against affirmative action.
I agree, Mr. McCoy. Mr. Winter, this is a murder trial, not a political debate. The testimony's out.
Back to basics. I can't afford that.
Not quite. All the jury instructions in the world can't unring the bell.
Okay.
Well, you get one last chance. Jerome's up next. He thought he was under pressure before.
I'm not sure this is personal.
Okay, let's see what we got here. See what we got as clues.
When we interrogate, we believe in women.
We got the first.
We can do this the easy way, or we can do this the hard way.
We got the
We
best.
can live with that.
We got the original Law and Order from BTV.
I remember things being so close when I was a kid. When was that, last week?
And we got it back to back.
You got him.
Law and Order continues next.
Victim's hat.
BTV.
You've tried to prevent your hepatitis C, but you shouldn't forget this. Hep C is a serious disease. Left untreated, it can lead to liver damage and potentially liver cancer. But you haven't been forgotten. There's never been a better time to rethink your Hep C.
Well, I'll be damned. You found a canister of liquid nitrogen on the crime scene. This has got to be the murder weapon, Matthew.
To help prepare you
And there seems to be something stuck on it. You're right, we better collect a sample. Well spotted, Matthew. This is Becky's hat, and there's a weird stain on it. Can you collect a sample of that too? Yes, we're this close to catching the killer, Matthew. I can feel it.
Nutella. Spread the happy. They give me energy.
Moment, folks.
Pursuant to the negotiated plea agreement, this court hereby sentences you to a term no less than 6 years and not more than 12 years.
Examine the victim's hat now.
Facility to be determined by the Department of Correction.
You did good finding the victim's hat, Matthew. And knowing you, I'm sure you'll be able to collect a sample of that substance in no time.
Admit it. You just didn't trust that jury.
Fluorescent substance. Smooth going collecting the substance from Becky's hat, Matthew. The tide is turning. With this, we're going to catch our killer before daybreak.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups.
Okay, this is 18 hours.
And the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders.
And let's examine the liquid nitrogen.
Hey,
we want to stand in line.
No, we can stand by ourselves for an hour and a half. I need a rest.
Hey, kids, this is called
Yeah.
Mr. President.
Not bad, Matthew. And you're right. Since you collected the skin sample from the murder weapon, it would make sense to send it to Roxy. 30 hours. Alright, I will let these two run their courses, and I'll see you for them. Alright folks, it is Matthew. We are back. Let's get the results of the fluorescent substance and put a killer behind bars. I analyzed the substance you collected from the victim's hat, Matthew. It turns out it's from a glow stick. Every clubber wears them these days. Electronic music, neon lights. Ocean Shore sure ain't as mellow as it used to be. But anyway, about the glow stick substance that you found on your victim's hat, I'm guessing your victim fought with her killer. And she ripped off one of the killer's glow sticks, spilling the substance on her hat. Huh, it's like our killer's wearing a neon sign that says, "Arrest me." Do you hear that, Matthew? They're done for.
Farrington Highway is closed off near Polina. Non-employed workers will be working there throughout the night until they can get that fire extinguished and those nearby homes are no longer in danger. Gusty winds, of course, not helping the firefighters, and the winds will be up throughout the night. Paul Drews joins us with the forecast. Paul, how breezy are we talking about?
Skin sample? I analyzed that skin sample you collected from the liquid nitrogen canister, Matthew. I can tell you it's not from your victim. And since the skin was on the murder weapon, it can only mean it belongs to your killer. Now, you might remember that your killer was very drunk at the time of the murder because they spilled their cocktail all over their GPS. Point is, your killer wasn't thinking straight and stuck their skin against the canister. It was so cold it instantly burned them. It burnt them. So we're looking for a killer with burn marks? Happy hour's coming up, Matthew, because you can bet I'll be grinning like an idiot when we arrest our killer. Oh, Frank, you're a great detective and all, but humor just isn't your thing. Yes, this is it, Matthew. We've got all the evidence we need. So what do you say we go put this killer scum behind bars?
Those scattered showers coming in the overnight hours. Windward sections will be on the cloudy side as we take a look at what we can expect for our forecast tonight and into tomorrow. Breezy with those winds at 10 to 25 miles an hour. Isolated showers overall as we look ahead to our Friday weather. We won't see a lot of rain and those winds still breezy. Sunny skies though for neighborhood spots.
It's Derek Stone.
Switching gears now, we're just hours away from the box. It's excited tonight for the UH men's basketball.
Derek Stone, I've been waiting so long for this. You're under arrest for the murder of Becky Walden. Yeah, right. You ain't got no eyewitnesses or whatever. You can't arrest me. Besides, I'm innocent. Think again, Derek. Ranger Matthew has all the evidence we need to arrest you. You're done for. Ranger Matthew discovered that you used your GPS to track Becky, and that before dying she ripped off one of your glow sticks. She ripped one of your glow sticks off. And then when you killed her, you blasted loud electronic music. Not only that, but Ranger Matthew also found your skin on the murder weapon. Damn it! I guess I'm really done for, but I'm not ready to give it all up. Not yet. I just reached the top and want to enjoy the view a little longer, yo. You know how I ended up here? I asked my GPS to take me to a place where I could be king, and it led me to Ocean Shore. It's been like one big party, yo, until Ranger Matthew turned up in my flat asking me about that street racing death. That's when I knew Ranger Matthew was going to bring this party to an end. I make my money because people here want to have a good time. They want drugs. This is what makes Ocean Shore. And that's why people know to turn a blind eye. But not Becky. She was always taking pictures of everything. So that girl had to go. She didn't belong here. Only scum like you would think that drugs are worth more than a human life. I've heard enough. Let's handcuff him, Ranger Matthew. Derek Stone, you are being tried for the murder of Becky Walden. Before I announce the final verdict, do you have something to say? You can't do this. I spent years trying to climb to the top. This is my time. This is what was promised to me. In all my time as a judge, I've learned two things. Never leave your pudding unattended, and... oh, I forgot the second thing. But I can tell you this, a killer never deserves anything, and that is why I hereby sentence you to life imprisonment. Yikes, it looks like it's game over for you, homie. Frank, don't start talking like a gangster. Given that you and Derek both have the same shirts, it's already very confusing. Gee, I don't know if it's the drink that's talking, but you've really proved your mettle, Matthew. I'm impressed. I mean, I've been trying to put Derek behind bars for a long time, and then you come along and everything falls into place. You know, I don't usually like working with a partner. I'm kind of a loner, but I'm happy the chief paired me up with you, Matthew.
What's considered the home team bar in these parties.
We also have other colleges here, like Eastern, who has a pretty...
Take a look at the other ones. Eva Sanchez, no burn marks. Roger Stroud, cleared from the start. Lenny Spitfire, doesn't drink cocktails. Zach Taylor, no cold sticks. It was Derek Stone. We'll see you guys through the AI. Alright folks, we're back. Let's start the additional investigation. Alright Matthew, let's have a toast for locking up that rat Derek once and for a... That'll have to wait, Frank. Eva Sanchez just arrived at the station, and she's asking for you, Ranger Matthew. Man, seriously, I know why I just live with the turtle. Duke is quiet, and he lets me enjoy my breaks in peace. I don't have time for your moods, Frank. I had to finalize the official speech for the city council about how Derek Stone was put behind bars thanks to Ranger Matthew. That woman's always busy like a busy bee. But hey, I'm sure Eva won't mind waiting until we had our celebratory Frank! Andrea, back so soon? I just got told that someone has been mugged on the boardwalk. A lot of tourists go there. I can't risk their safety. Ranger Matthew, I know I'm asking a lot from you, but could you please go over there and see if you can find the culprit? I really need to work on that speech. Another busy day at the office, huh? So, Matthew, what do you want to start with? The Angry Mermaid or the boardwalk? Oh, I'll investigate the boardwalk. It's kind of a red flag, per se. Fanny pack. You're right, Matthew. This fanny pack must belong to Zach. There's even his lifeguard card inside. So he's the one that got mugged. So he's the one who got mugged. Whoever took this from him has serious anger issues, though. It's been torn to shreds, and it's covered in spit. Lovely. Hey, you're right. That spit might give us the robber's DNA. Pretty clever, Matthew. Let's get a sample from the pack. Fanny pack now. Perfect. Great, you collected enough saliva off Zach's fanny pack. Yeah, Matthew, let's get it to Jan. How long is this? 18 hours, okay? And let's find out what's eating Eva. Ranger Matthew, you've got to help me out, please. My life is ruined. It's so unfair. I was about to sign my first contract in Ivywood. Something huge. My first step to success. Becoming an actress in Ivywood. Do you realize? I'll be a movie star. But my boss found out. He was furious and I just got laid off. I'm banned from the nightclub. I can't go back inside. Well, you're in luck. Personally, I don't really care about your career, but Ranger Matthew's more generous with their time than I am. You're up for it, Ranger Matthew? Alright, let's go back to the nightclub then. Not my best one. Is that Eva's paperwork? It's torn to shreds. Someone really didn't like the fact that she was seeking for opportunities. Sure, Matthew, let's put those pieces back together. It's been a while since I haven't laid my hands on some Ivywood fancy paperwork. I hate it when it does this. Minute, folks. Got that figured out now. Examine torn contract. Oh boy. And again. There we go. Not too shabbily done, Matthew. That contract's good as new. But that's an interesting picture for sure. Wait a second. This contract is from Magnus Entertainment. This is one of the biggest adult films company in Ivywood Hills. The people in this industry aren't their choir boys. That's the least you can say. I've worked in Ivywood long enough to know it. I did drug busts there, dealt with stars, producers, and other sneaky rats in the industry, put them behind bars. And I've also seen many a starlet get lost on her way to success. I wonder if Eva realizes she's applying to an adult film company, Matthew. You're right, we need to give Eva her contract back anyway. We might as well make sure she knows what she's getting into there. She's into here. Minute again, folks. This is just not... Okay, let's give Eva back her contract. Hey Eva, Ranger Matthew got your contract back, along with your picture. Thanks a lot. That contract is an opportunity I cannot miss. I'm going to become a star. Just you wait and see. Eva, you do realize Magnus is an adult films company, right? Of course I do. Oh, please don't tell me you're all shocked, like you've never watched any of their movies. Hey, I didn't say that, Missy. It's just that it's a tough industry to work in. I'm not some wide-eyed doll. I know what I'm getting into. I don't intend to work for Magnus forever. It's just a way of getting noticed by the big studios. Well, as long as you've thought this through, but be careful, okay? We hate to see a girl like you come to harm. Alright, maybe I better watch my back. You're right. Pretty decent of you to look out for me, Ranger Matthew. I won't forget that. Hey, once I'm a star, I'll totally invite you to movie premieres and stuff. In the meantime, please take these clothes as thanks. And here we go again.
You play the big teams, you see the names across the chest on the uniforms, and now leaving UCLA.
Nothing more I can do now, so for now, this is Matthew. See you then. Alright folks, this is Matthew. We are back. Let's get the results of saliva for Pacific Bay Case 5 in Elite Mode. Matthew, I analyzed the saliva you collected from this lifeguard fanny pack, and it seems Zach Taylor's aggressor is a cousin. What do you mean, like Zach's cousin? A cousin a bit further up in the family tree, actually. This saliva belongs to a monkey. No way! So that boaster was attacked by a monkey? You gotta be kidding! Please, Matthew, let's give his belongings back to Zach. I'm burning to hear him talk about how he got owned by a monkey.
Darwin was vilified for even suggesting that humans evolved from the primordial ooze. Yet science and reason proved him right.
Fanny pack back to Zach. Ranger Matthew, you found my fanny pack. Yeah, and they also found out a monkey stole it from you. Anything to say about it, tough guy? This damn monkey came out of nowhere, jumped on my face, and attacked me. It was vicious. You've got to believe me. Actually, I'm pretty sure it's around here somewhere. Something threw a coconut at my head a few minutes ago. I'm sure it was the monkey. Terrorized by a monkey. Ah, good times. Anyway, Matthew, you're right. We better have a look around the beach and see if we can find that little rascal. Thanks for not laughing at me, Ranger Matthew. And hey, you deserve something for bringing back my fanny pack. Here, have a burger. I cooked it myself.
So that's it.
Not unless we can prove he is in some way connected to Samantha Tassler's death. I'm ruling this a homicide. The DNA results are back. The saliva on Samantha's cheek belongs to Paula Haggard. Saliva and facial tissue. It's like a mother wiping her child's face, the brushing of the hair, the wrapping it in a blanket.
Now what about Samantha's fetus? I mean, you're not going to tell us that that's the clone of some famous dead child, are you?
Until someone proves otherwise, that's science fiction. The clone fetus would only have DNA from that child. Samantha's has DNA from herself and her father. So this whole cloning thing is a scam. Samantha's eggs were fertilized by someone's sperm.
And I wonder who's that could be.
We'll need DNA from Lang to prove it's his child.
Pineapple. Fork.
So if Samantha's baby was Lang's, and she found out that sure gives Lang a million dollars.
And if Lang fathered Samantha's baby, who do you think fathered Jessica's?
Parents would give the baby up for adoption.
I think you to test your baby's DNA.
Make sure that's okay.
Pile of fruit.
Dr. Lang says my baby doesn't have Why are you asking me this?
Because the DNA from your baby tells us that it doesn't.
Good call, Matthew. Those fruits have been nibbled on. You're right. We should have a look through them.
It's a cloned child.
We tested Dr. Lang. He's the father of your baby.
No!
That's the truth, and I'm sorry about it.
I believe in him. I love him.
You fertilized your egg with this.
There's the monkey.
I was helping a couple.
So this is what terrorized Zach. A fighting machine indeed. Little buddy's asleep. What the? It woke up. Get off my shoulder. Get off. Okay, whatever. What do we do now, Matthew? We can't lock up a monkey. Ranger Matthew, you found him. You found Billy, my monkey. I thought I'd lost him forever. Hold on, hold on. This monkey's yours? Do you have a minute? We'd like to have a word with you.
And I told Mrs. Haggerty.
That's Lenny about the monkey. Ranger Matthew, I'm so happy you found my monkey. It seems to have taken a liking to your friend, too. Lenny, your monkey attacked a lifeguard and stole his fanny pack. Are you using it to get some extra money? Oh no, not at all. Billy wouldn't harm a fly. And you know I make enough money. I wouldn't risk prison for a few more bucks. But sometimes when Billy sees a certain type of people, he can get grumpy. The little boy definitely doesn't like superficial people. Superficial, eh? I guess it matches Billy's target pretty well. Good on you, monkey. I promise I'll be more careful next time, Ranger Matthew. I don't want it to get into trouble. Come here, Billy. Oh, so soon? I was just starting to like that little dude. Good boy, Billy. And thanks for finding him, Ranger Matthew. Please accept this little contribution for the police fund. Oh, thank you very much. 20,000. Alright, Matthew, our burglaring monkey has been caught, and Eva's career has been salvaged, I guess. All in a day's work. Pretty good, if you ask me. Now, about that celebratory drink... Not so fast, Frank. I need you and Ranger and Matthew in my office ASAP. You heard the lady, Matthew. Let's do it before she loses her nerve.
Did you ever, at any time, see Dr. Lang around Samantha or...
Ranger Matthew, I just wanted to congratulate you again on the spectacular job you've done in Ocean Shore. I think it's time for you to move on to another district. I'm warning you, though, it'll be a tougher environment, but... Yeah, right, it's not like it's not violent and tough enough out here. Frank, it's a very interesting place. Very different from Ocean Shore. You'll work in swamps, forests, and you'll see very old architecture, alligators, and... Alligators? Oh, don't tell me we're going to... Oh, yes you are, Ranger Matthew. Oh, yes you are. Ranger Matthew, I'm sending you all to Bayou Blue. Don't listen to Frank the Grump. It's a fascinating district.
You don't even know how to do it, do you? So why did you promise to clone babies to parents who had lost their children?
Well, I have every intention of delivering on your promise.
But you testified on direct examination that you used your sperm to fertilize the eggs you had taken from Samantha Tassler and the other girls. So you were going to give your children to those parents.
Until I'm able to clone their babies.
Okay, that will do. And I'll see you guys for the next case in Elite Mode, which will be a surprise. So for now, this is Matthew. See you then.